Hello, I'm Yondon Latu at the South China Morning Post. I devoted my last two videos to appeal for understanding of Hong Kong's youth and their frustrations in the context of why they have been taking to the streets with such intensity against the government's now suspended extradition bill. Their sense of feeling alienated, downtrodden, disrespected and left behind is very real, and they have made it abundantly clear to our hitherto deaf government officials nestled in their ivory towers that the young voices of the city can no longer be ignored as inconsequential or fringe talk. Having said that, I have serious issues with what they did last week, besieging police headquarters for 15 hours straight in a radical protest involving the use of mob mobilization and guerrilla tactics, the likes of which Hong Kong has never seen before. Police, apparently under strict orders to avoid any confrontation, retreated inside the building while a howling mob outside sealed all entrances with metal barriers to make sure no one could get in or out. I dread to think of the consequences if a fire had broken out in the premises, but hey, this is what democracy is all about, purportedly. They pelted the building front with eggs, covered CCTV cameras with adhesive tape, defaced the walls with obscene and hateful messages, and pretty much held top brass, frontline officers and support staff hostage for hours on end. The law enforcers had to stand passively inside and watch those outside break the law with impunity. There were pregnant women and others needing medical treatment in the building. 13 had to be taken to hospital late at night, some of them on stretchers. Much of the news coverage of this anarchy by the Western media and activist journalists has been a tribute to the tenacity and audacity of these angry young men and women, completely disregarding the breakdown of law and order and the dangers of encouraging and enabling their radical action. There is open admiration for and glorification of their hit-and-run tactics in moving swiftly from one government target to the next, based on the famous philosophy of legendary martial artist Bruce Lee. Water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. What many seem to be missing or glossing over is the enormity of this extraordinary turn of events in terms of what it means for the authority and ability of our police force to keep Hong Kong safe. And beyond that, the implications for the rule of law, that most crucial of pillars still propping up this deeply divided and troubled city. Think about it. The fact that the command base of law enforcement was paralyzed in this manner meant citizens' emergency calls to the 999 hotline could not be attended to at the height of the protest. How is this acceptable by any measure, for any cause? And as for those who have been appealing to the US and British governments for help to stop all the repression in Hong Kong, just imagine how police in the countries they admire so much would have responded to a belligerent mob banging at their gates. There would have been blood guaranteed, as there will be here in Hong Kong, mark my words, if this kind of lawlessness continues unabated. When an estimated 2 million people marched peacefully on the streets earlier this month, it was an impressive display of people power. The takeover of roads and government buildings, which seems to have become the new norm now, is not people power. It is mob rule in motion. There is a distinct line between the two, and many of these youngsters are blurring it. The risk of bloodshed is ostensibly why police have been holding back and doing nothing while democracy reigns supreme. But where does it end? Where are the limits? How much longer will this be allowed to go on, not just by the authorities, but by the people of Hong Kong? Several thousand Hong Kongers were out there protesting on Friday night, but nearly 7.5 million others were not, whatever their grievances against the government and police. Perhaps there is hope still that good sense will prevail. And seriously, stop calling these protests peaceful just because no one has been killed yet. When I barge into your front yard with a pack of hooligans, bang on your door and yell threats and abuse you while you're trapped inside with your family and leave peacefully after trashing your property, is it all good as long as I don't actually beat you up? There's a difference. Learn it before it's too late, children. Thanks for watching.